Now, if you were to ask teachers one of the most time-consuming parts of the job at the minute, a lot would probably say having to deal with the sheer number of parent complaints. Now, you know I'm a massive advocate of using AI effectively and properly, but you see it. You see increasingly complaints being embellished, escalated, over the top, over formalized through AI that's clearly not being checked. And that's changing how schools have to respond. You know, you've met these parents, you spoke to them at parents' evening, but now all of a sudden they're writing Agatha Christie novels as a letter of complaint about a lost jumper. Now, obviously, there will always be genuine complaints. Mistakes can be made. Schools can sometimes get things wrong. And when concerns are valid, they absolutely should be taken seriously. That is not up for discussion. But here's the problem. The scale of complaints has exploded. Parent-kind data shows over 5 million formal complaints were made to UK schools in the last year alone. And 1 in 4 parents say there's been a breakdown of trust with their child's school. The issue here is that every complaint takes time. Logging it, investigating it, responding to it, escalating it. Time that is increasingly being taken away from teaching, learning and supporting pupils. If you add in poor use of AI, where AI is doing the cognitive offload, doing the thinking, what could have been a 5-minute conversation turns into a 3-page legally sounding document that multiplies workload even more. So the government have responded by sharing some new guidance, and there's sort of 5 steps to this. Step 1 is work out what this actually is. Is it feedback, a concern or a formal complaint? And formal complaints are meant for when you're genuinely unhappy, not as like a starting point. Second, talk to the right person first. Teacher for day-to-day issues, senior leadership for behaviour or bullying, head teacher for serious matters like safeguarding. Third, keep it factual, keep it objective, what happened, what the issue is, what is the outcome you're hoping for. Fourth, follow the school's policy, check timescales and ask for written acknowledgement. And fifth, only escalate it if it hasn't been resolved. That's governors or trustees or the DFE if the process breaks down. Ofsted doesn't resolve complaints. I mean, don't get me started on Ofsted. There's also very clear warning about using social media, because we know social media amplifies anger as well as the AI generated complaints, because both can really escalate situations unnecessarily and make things a lot worse. Now, as much as I like this guidance, I think the thing that's going to frustrate a lot of teachers is, you know, what's actually going to be done to make sure parents follow it. What can schools realistically do? Well, you know, as best we can, trying to make it easier for parents to raise any concerns early and informally, you know, having clear information, dropping conversations, basically stuff that can stop smaller issues turning into bigger formal complaints. I think staff and parents can do with building their AI literacy, teachers being able to spot these AI hallucinations, you know, stripping it back to the real issue without then getting intimidated and scared by the tone of these AI written complaints. And staff being trained to handle those sort of complaints that come with a lot of sort of AI noise. So clear boundaries, clear outcomes, you know, agreed wording so responses stay calm, stay professional and are consistent throughout the school. Because again, what make it clear, this is not me saying parents should never raise concerns. It's not me saying schools never make mistakes. You know, I'm not saying that schools should avoid any accountability. But I think from this guidance from the government, they are recognising that the current volume and escalation of complaints is unsustainable, and it is pulling time and energy away from students. Now, if this guidance is going to work, it can't just sit on a website. There has to be clarity, there has to be support and consequences when it's ignored. Otherwise, nothing's going to change, and it's going to be teachers carrying on having to take on all of that workload.